Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Genshin Championship. I'm Zinzan Kitty, and I have the pleasure to introduce Anton, who will be casting with me today.
Yeah. Hi guys, like Kitty said, my name is Anton, and I'm just super stoked to be here helping to bring everyone the games. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. Today we're covering patch 3.7 with our competing contestants, Samey and Shifu. They're both dolphins, or small whales you can say. So Samey is a well-known in our community. He likes to test out unorthodox comps, and I'd say that he's got a very unique playstyle, almost as if he enjoyed taking his sweet time in the abyss, savoring the abilities of each character. And on the other side, Shifu is a vertically invested player, so his C6 R5 Ayato is definitely not to be taken lightly. Alright, now let's explain the rules for today's match. The goal is quite simple. Number 1, clear out floor 12 of the Spiral Abyss as fast as possible. Number 2, a maximum of 2 5-star weapons can be used. And number 3, no offensive cards are allowed. Alright, with that being said, let's take a look at the Abyss Blessing. After the active character's normal attacks hit opponents, the damage dealt by this character will increase by 12% for 2 seconds, and it can stack up to 5 times. So this blessing is obviously extremely good for characters such as Ayato or even Yoimiya, and I'm fairly certain that Shifu's strategy is to pick the Ayato.
Yeah, and speaking of the strategy, like we have some information from the pre-match interviews. We have some insider info. We kind of know the general ideas of the hyper carries that both these players are going to be running on their teams. So speaking of the characters that might be good for this blessing, by the way, like you mentioned, Ayato, we've got Yoimiya, who happens to be on the banner. What a surprise that usually Hoyo runs the banners with characters that are good for the current Abyss. You've got Alhaitham here as well, and he's like one of the best hyper carries that we've seen in a very, very long time. So definitely a lot of potential up in the air picks for the agent draft coming up.
Yes, agreed, and we also have a new character, our favorite cat girl, Kirara. Although I'm not really sure if she's going to be picked. We don't know how she plays in the meta yet, but we'll see. And without further ado, let's get into the draft. Alright, here we go. So we've got Samey on Team Aether and Shifu on Team Lumine. Now, I'd like to mention something important before we start the pick and ban. The format for this episode is slightly different from our previous one. Considering the difficulty of this abyss, we've decided to limit the bans to 2 per player instead of our usual 3. Also, the order in which the characters are picked does not matter. The characters can be swapped around to form the desired first and second halves. So basically, the players will be able to reorganize their 8 chosen characters. And that's it. Those are the changes that apply to this draft.
Yeah, and so with that, we already have, pretty obvious, right? Raiden's going to be banned out. Hu Tao is going to be removed from Shifu's side. So, mind you, neither one of these players can use these characters in their draft if anyone has banned them. So neither team can have Raiden. We have a first pick we know Shifu is going to go for that Ayato pick, right? So there's already that off the board. Samey's got the Kazuha. We're looking to see quite a strong Hydro comp coming out from the side of Shifu already.
Yes, and of course, the Bennett being picked away, I'm expecting a Xiangling here. The Pyro extremely strong in the second half. There we have it, the Xiangling Bennett.
Yeah, so obviously, like you mentioned too, you can switch around all your characters, so it's not like Samey has to run the Bennett and the Xiangling in the first half, so he could decide otherwise. Lumine, the same thing. Shifu's got the Nahida as well as the Toma, which we'll likely see play in the second half because the shields for floor 12 chamber 3, so we'll end up seeing for that one.
Yes, I do really like the Nahida and 1 Pyro Toma pick because of the Burgeon possibilities in the second half. Super useful to break the shields.
And speaking of shields, can't ignore Zhongli. He's literally the strongest shielder in the entire game. And again, mentioning the pre-match interviews, Samey has some interesting selections, right? Because at this point it's halftime, so they actually have a second ban. The Cookie, so no more Hyper Bloom for the side of Shifu or for Samey. But talking about what Samey's going to go for, I don't think he's going to be wanting the Hyper Bloom. He's got the Zhongli, and I'm looking to see a couple more Geo picks because it looks like he's got quite the strong Noelle from what we've seen. And there it goes, first pick on the second side.
Oh my goodness, you were right. And now with the Albedo being hovered, maybe a mono Geo team?
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen, right? Because like when you pick that Noelle, I don't really know what else you'd be running with her. She's not an Ito, but she kind of fulfills the same role, right? You just want to throw as much Geo as you possibly can into your opponents. You have the Zhongli with the resonance, you have the Albedo with the E, the flower that also does its own damage, and then probably gonna see a Gorou very soon.
Absolutely. Now we've got the Venti and the Jean on the side of Team Lumine. Not sure for what. Maybe for a kind of like a mono hydro, I'm thinking.
That is an option.
Or a swirl hydro.
Yeah. There's definitely some things I've seen on Reddit and on Twitter that showcase Jean's possibility with the Bennett, but obviously Shifu doesn't have a Bennett, so this is going to be quite interesting to see what she's going to be doing, because definitely some possibilities of swirling some Pyro into some shields, which is what Bennett would be for, but without that, maybe running the same team as a Toma?
And yeah, we have the Childe being picked by Sammy. So that's going to be a standard international comp, and with a mono Geo on the second half, I'm assuming, or the first half, sorry. Yeah, there we have it.
And you just look at that. So remember, everyone, the rules are 2 5-star weapons across this entire 8-character roster, and we're going to be spending one of those on Noelle, and that is Ito's weapon. So we're going to get to see some big damage numbers right here in the first half.
Indeed. It's also a triple crowned Noelle, by the way, so really excited to see what she's capable of.
I mean, already you can see the yellow numbers flying. That's a 30k hit. That is a 30,000 Noelle hit. That is literally more damage than my Kanyu charge shot.
I mean, that's just sad at this point.
It's nice.
So it's a 4-piece glad also.
That makes sense. You want as much damage as possible. And look at the efficiency too. That's the Hydro Whopper Flowers is dead. Right off the bat, 30 seconds.
I also think that, the fact that Noelle's sword is so huge, it does a lot of AoE, and it can hit all 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah, he is doing a little trick where there's like 2 of the primal constructs that will move and 1 of them that won't, so he's actually taking advantage of that quite well, and then using the freeze from Zhongli as well to keep them in place, so it's quite nice. But like you mentioned, she is literally just demolishing every single one of them. It's not taking very much time at all, and it's only been a minute, and pretty much the chamber is going to be finished at this point. It's not that long. It's 66 seconds on the timer for Samey.
That is amazing. All right, so now let's see on the side of Team Lumine with the Yelan and Yang Miko. So it seems like it's the Yelan holding the Aqua Simulacra, the 5-star weapon.
I mean, dude, look at the crit rates of them. Like, Miko and Yelan basically are just never not critting. It's kind of unreal to see that kind of thing, but just take a look at the numbers real quick, right? Venti for the red shred, and all of a sudden there's just numbers on the screen, and I don't know about you, Kitty, but I can't see what's happening anymore.
No, it's the same. See, they disappeared. The Whopper Flowers, where are they? They're gone.
That's kind of insane. We're already onto the primal constructs, and yet another Venti Q. You get that charged up real nice and fast, and 30 seconds. That's a set of constructs down. It looks like...
Oh, that's insane.
He's just about to finish the floor.
That's insane. And in only 38 seconds.
Sub a minute.
Wow.
I don't know what to say about that. I really don't.
All right, now Team Aether. So it's the International Tartaglia comp. I'm excited to see this. It should be very, very strong, especially in this second half with so many shields present. Sammy should do this relatively fast.
Yeah, the interesting thing to note is, as well, if you guys in the audience notice who the 5-star weapon is on, it's actually Homa on Xiangning, not on Tartaglia. Yeah. So she's going to be doing the majority of the damage here, I expect, with the insane crit damage that Homa gives you. And yeah, it's quite fast that you take out the Abyss mages. Getting that nice little taunt and the dodge, get that Bennett Q up as soon as possible to give you as much time for the damage. And we're going to get to see a Tartaglia burst here very soon, probably. And with that, okay, that's a lot of damage. That's triple digits, almost 300k.
That's insane. This is exactly what we wanted to see, actually, with this Tartaglia International comp.
And he's like, look at the way he's dodging too. There's no shielder on this team, right? He's literally just having to use his own movement to make sure he doesn't take as much damage. And yeah, Kazuha literally has not taken a point. I don't know how he's managed to do this, but his dodging has been absolutely impeccable, and both those cryo-lectors are pretty much already gone. Everyone's already gone. That's the chamber.
That's it. All right, so challenge completed in 67 seconds only. And now, the Ayato comp we've been waiting for.
Yeah,
it's a C6R5 Ayato.
Just looking at the stats, it's a little bit disgusting. Crazy. I gotta admit. And like, the craziest thing is, again, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the sheet, this is not a virgin comp. Toma does not have any EM. He's like 60 or something like that. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna work in the later rounds. But for the time being, Ayato is landing 70,000 hits. That is kind of ridiculous.
Indeed, and you know, it's very interesting that you mentioned that it's not a virgin Toma, because I'm looking at the comp right now and I'm noticing that they are all so well invested in every single character. They have a decent amount of crit rate and a decent amount of crit damage.
Like, in the meantime, I'm talking about that, I mean, the health of the Lectors is gone. I don't even know how that's happened. But like, no Burgeon, no problem, I guess. He's still just absolutely shredding these shields. The Hydro Lector is almost dead, and it's gonna fall in like a couple different Nahida E's, and there it goes. It's only been like a minute 30 in this first chamber, like as a whole, not even just in the second half. And Shifu's almost finished this chamber already.
Oh, it's so satisfying to see all the little Burgeons.
The tiny little Burgeons, like the tiny like 2 damage Burgeon, but it doesn't matter because he's just using the Pyro to break the shields. And like he's only got 1 Pyro proc here too. It's not even like the Xiangling and the Bennett, but he's just got just the Toma, and he's done this chamber in 77 seconds. It's a little bit longer than Samey, but he does have the lead from the first half to make up for that.
Yeah, so the scoreboard is quite tight right now. Very close, 133 to 115.
This Mono Geo, yet again, throwing as much Geo as you possibly can at your opponent. He has not used the Meteor yet, which in this case makes sense because you would probably only use that for freeze, and you can't freeze the Terror Shroom. And the crazy thing is, like, the Noel hits, the auto attack hits, actually do more than his Chongli Meteor.
Yeah. And there's just something so satisfying about seeing a Mono Geo comp brute forcing his way onto this poor little chicken.
What can he do? It's not like he's just bypassing any mechanics. Like, you're not like applying a bunch of reactions to like stun it or anything. He's just hitting it over and over again with a big stick. It's working really well.
Yeah, very efficient, and in only 51 seconds. That was quite fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually faster than me with an Alhaitham comp. So I think he's doing something right. Kind of similar things here from Shifu. We see, I mean, just look at all the numbers, and it's somehow it's even faster. Somehow it's still even faster. I mean, it seems like it's definitely because of the Yelan, because you look at the breakthrough barbs. He's doing like 18k a hit with a barb, which is as much as a Noel like auto attack. So he's doing like a Noel auto attack with every single arrow.
Yeah.
A little bit of investment on that, on those characters there.
A little bit, yeah. So it's actually a C6 Yemiko and a C6 Yelan.
That helps. That definitely helps. This one might be a bit difficult because you remember you can't do many reaction Thunder Manifestation, can you? So this one, he's getting the damage off. Like no problems that he's not got a bow character or something like that. That's what I had to run. Is I just had to run like range characters, but it looks like he's doing just fine with all those melee builds. Kaida Kazuha to get that red shred, and he's just slowly, steady, chunking this Thunder Manifestation down.
Yeah, but also something about Sammy that's pretty unique to him is his dodging. I very, very enjoy watching his playstyle because of his dodging, his way of navigating around the fights and the enemies.
Yeah, like remember that Bennett does not heal above 70%, right? So all the characters that have not taken damage, like if all the characters that are full health, they just haven't been hit, which is the mind-blowing part. Kazuha's finally taking damage. I think this is the first time in these 2 floors. With Xiangling hasn't been hit. There it goes. Great, perfectly timed dodge. Childe also has not been hit. And that's just some ridiculous stuff. The perfect burst timing there too to negate that attack.
It's brilliant. Ooh, and then we have a little spinny.
You do like to see that. A little bit of optimization. Oh, that could have wasted a second there, but looks like it's all good. Samey's got that floor done, and 90 seconds. Actually, not a terrible time. That's a pretty considerable gap at this point. So we'll see what Shifu can do. Because remember, this is the hyper carry Ayato. This is the Omega built character that he has going on. So how fast can this guy do this floor?
Exactly. It's a 93% crit rate to 243 crit damage Ayato.
Got that red stripe with the gene.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what to say. They're doing 30,000 a hit.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's like 20. Okay, this is the second half, mind you, and we have 9 minutes 6 on the clock. I don't know how it's possible. 50,000 a hit. What is there to say?
Oh my goodness. And that's it.
That's 90 seconds. Yeah, 90 seconds. The Shifu's 38.
Wow. But it's not over yet.
There's a lot for Samey to catch up. Shifu's gonna have to drop some major time. Because this Mono Geo, one of the weaknesses of it is definitely the fact that it doesn't have reactions. It might be able to brute force everything. He might never die, honestly. Samey's never going to fail this Abyss. It's just not going to happen. But how fast can he do it? That's the question. Because he needs to just hit these guys as fast as possible. We can see the Albedo E also doing damage with the Chonli Resonance. Everything is going really nicely. And of course, Noelle just hasn't taken a hit yet, because why would she? Get that freeze in just in case. And he's going to get these two consecrated beasts down pretty quickly and pretty effortlessly as well, which is kind of crazy to say, because these guys are the reason why everyone hates this Abyss, right? But he's having absolutely no problem with them.
Yeah, I also, again, like I said, I really like the AoE. Me personally, I'm running an aggravate comp in this half, and I have a very hard time targeting both. Oh!
Yeah, I agree.
And the little jump there. But yeah, so with Noelle's big sword, he can target both at the same time, which is very handy.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely he needs it because of the fact that she doesn't have the reactions, but it helps that you can always consistently get both damaged. The blue guy always just happens to run from you, so this is very nice that he's already got the crocodile almost under control. There it goes. Should be a couple more hits in there. Yep, 8 minutes 30. So still a decent time, and yeah, he's got the green one on the floor. It should be easy.
There we go.
90 seconds.
In 91 seconds, yep.
That's going to be quite tight. Shifu, this first half team is definitely his weaker one, so we'll see how fast he can do this with a pure electro charge comp, by the way. So this is not something we see very often, but so far, I'm not complaining. It's definitely worked for him.
Let's see the power of the Yelan here. Although one of the consecrated beasts, the little crocodile, has a bit more resistance to Hydro, I don't think it'll be much of an issue, though, with the Electro Charge procs and with the Yaemiko.
Yeah,
as well as the VV, the Resistance Shred.
That is actually kind of ridiculous. And yeah, Yelan is only doing 6k, but like that's only doing 6k. Like that's already a pretty good number, and that's with the resistance. In this second one, I don't think Venti has even hit him yet, and we're gonna get to see that in just a second. But they are just getting absolutely demolished.
Yeah, and I noticed that Shifu's not even using the Yaemiko burst. At this point, it's not even worth it, considering his Yelan and Xingqiu rain swords.
Dude, that's a massive touch. That's less than a minute, a sub-minute for consecrated beast half. That's kind of unheard of.
I mean, it's the power of C6 Yelan, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, he played extremely well too. Not to take that away from him.
And here, wow, I mean, we're gonna have to see some good gameplay from Samey, because something to note, he does not actually have a Dendro character on this team, so he's just gonna have to brute force these Hydro Shields, which it seems like he's done. It's perfectly fine, there's no problem.
Now this is the part I'm worried about, the Pyro Shield.
Not gonna Tartaglia burst up, and it looks like he's been expended as well. It is taking a little bit of time here, but soon enough, he definitely wants to get this Bennett burst ready as well. 3 seconds, yeah, this is so tight. He's gonna have to spend the charge shot here, which he's gonna do, and that does break the shield. And there goes all the other damage, getting the setup ready. It's taking a little bit of time, but this should be a great burst from Tartaglia. It's pretty good. That's half his health.
It's pretty good.
That's half the health.
All right. Yeah. Into the second rotation here. Oof.
How fast is he going to break these shields? 'Cause, yeah, again, the Hydro Shield, a little bit of a problem. A second delay with the Xiangling burst. And at this point, it really is up to Shifu to lose this, because look at the time difference. Samey is doing well anyways. Look, this is a ridiculous clear time for him. 80 seconds, still very, very good. But Shifu has got so much room to play with. And now, once again, the insane damage from Ayato. Let's see what he can do.
And there we have it. It's the last chamber, second half.
Poma, yet again, the only Pyro character to break these shields. It's taken a little bit.
All right, the cryo shield down. Oh.
Like all those little gaps, like most people maybe would be spending like recharging bursts or something, getting the energy for other characters, but he is just like going for it. Here we go. Like the Pyro shield should be no problem, right? Pops the Ayato E, and then gets that red shred from Jean first, and then he goes for the hits, and it's still good. Like he's got more than enough time to get all his hits in. Baptiste has no chance. It's gonna be close. It might be an issue if he doesn't one cycle, because that is gonna be a lot of time bought.
Oh no! And
oh
my god!
That's a little bit insane. 52 seconds for the Baptiste.
And there we have it. We have Aether with 445 seconds and Lumine with 287 seconds. Congrats to Shifu from Team Lumine for winning the Genshin Championship 3.7, taking home the crown and the W.
Yeah, Shifu, I mean, he just tore through this entire abyss. That Ayato is like, he's just sublimating every single enemy. This is probably one of the most difficult, some might say frustrating floor 12s in recent history. But with the final time, dude, he's got 4 minutes 47. That's less time than is allocated for 2 3-stars. Like he's got 17 stars on this floor. Like I don't even know how that can happen. But with that victory, Lumine remains undefeated. They are 6-0 in our Genshin Championship Series. I don't know, Kitty, would you say like, is Aether like cursed or something? I don't know what's happening here.
Oh, no, don't say that, no.
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure Team Aether will break the losing streak very soon. I don't know when. We don't know. Maybe soon. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, knock on wood. All right, and now as we're approaching the end of this episode, we'd like to give a big thanks, of course, to both participants, Shifu and Sammy. And of course, a big thanks to everyone who's watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. And of course, Anton, thank you so much for being here today. We loved your energy. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure casting over these games and obviously watching the amazing gameplay from both these players. Consolidation's the Samey, and he played exceptionally well as well. And I mean, the Mono Geo, he's just showing off what he can do. It's probably not his peak potential, but it's still very, very impressive. So thank you so much to Happy Gaming Cats for having me as well, and to everyone for watching.
Absolutely. And now if you're interested in participating in future championships or other game modes, and if you want to appear in our videos, then please join our Discord server through the link in the description box below. Alright, we'll see you guys next time.